Horowhenua District Council, just north of Wellington and Kapiti, where producer Kelly lives, they've stopped urban berm mowing as of the, I think, 1st of July. It's a way to save costs, and it's a part of a long-term plan. It said feedback's been largely positive, but there's been a groundswell of Facebook comments suggesting it was the wrong decision. One resident who's up in arms is a guy called John Murphy. I just have to quickly mention him. He reckons he is the largest berm outside his property, show off, and says he won't mow it in protest, adding it'll cost me another $50 to get it done. Murphy normally gets a contractor to do his lawns, but he said there's no way he's going to take responsibility for the berm of which he could fit a small house in. Why are people paying other people to mow their lawns? But that's another question. Horowhenua District Councillor Sam Jennings joins me now. Sam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Leah. How are you?
I'm good. I've got a couple of scratching my head about how many people pay contractors to mow their lawns, but like I said, that's another issue. Now, you might know this, Sam, but you must be one of the last or one of the very few districts that have been mowing berms, because Auckland stopped in 2013 and saved about $15 million. Now, how much is the council saving by not mowing berms?
Well, I think we are one of the last, and we've had some information that kind of suggests that, we're certainly probably in the last sort of 10 councils around the country that are still doing it, or we're still doing it. But we're saving around $240,000 a year, which is about half a percent of our rates bill. So it's certainly not a small amount.
It's a decent chunk, absolutely. Because am I getting this right? Ratepayers, though, in your area, they're still looking at quite a rate rise. Is it just under 17%?
Yeah, so it's 16.6%, and so this is the conundrum really. We started out our long-term plan staring down the barrel of a 24% rate increase, mostly driven by insurance, interest costs, depreciation. So that was a big chunk. About 14% was just those three things alone, let alone other sort of contract increases and all that kind of thing. And so we really genuinely sort of looked for those cost savings, and our council applied a sort of a zero-based budgeting process where they took a clean sheet of paper out and went line by line and really looked to justify absolutely every single cost. And so we went out with some pretty controversial things in terms of a proposal, including the berm mowing, cutting hours at some of our facilities, lifting some fees, selling some carbon credits, that kind of thing. So there was sort of a wide range of things that were on the table.
So 88% supposedly have supported the council's proposal to stop urban berm mowing because they understand it's going to save costs and reduce, the level of the rates increase. However, am I right in saying that you, on Friday, did you do an informal poll on Facebook saying would residents pay a $20 annual rate increase to restore the berm mowing? Is that
So look, through the long-term plan, we got over 500 submissions to our proposals, and about 400 of those were specific about rates and the proposed cuts. And so of those 400, 88% said, no, we want you to cut those things, plus we want you to find some additional cuts. And so we even went deeper, and we've actually ended up with a 7% reduction in our workforce, which is about $1 million cut in employee costs as well. So, so things were pretty quiet, to be honest, following that decision, and I didn't really get a lot of feedback at all, and until sort of last week, and obviously with the spring growth, there's been quite a bit of attention on Facebook, and a lot of criticism, and a lot of, probably fair enough, a lot of people sort of pointing out some of the exceptional cases, like elderly people or people with mobility issues, or those berms that don't sort of have an adjoining property, who are saying, who's going to do this? How are we going to get this done? And so, quite a bit of attention on Facebook. I decided to do a bit of a poll, and it really was just to test the waters here in Levin, acknowledging that this decision goes wider than Levin, but to test the decision to say, well, if you really want this, are you willing to pay, and how much? And so that's where the sort of the $20 figure, which is, so for about $20 per ratepayer across the district, potentially we could resume that berm mowing. But
Will that mean, though, if some people didn't want to pay that, is that going to get too hard to work out who's...
It's sort of an all or nothing type approach.
Correct.
And so, and look, I think the feedback came, and absolutely acknowledging it's a Facebook poll, limited,
Sure.
Obviously demographic. But look, the appetite seems to sort of suggest that people certainly weren't willing to pay any more rates.
No.
And the suggestions tended to be they wanted the service, but council needed to find cuts elsewhere. But
it was a great saying.
Yeah.
We want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. So I get it.